Hey everyone, Josh here with a look at another Star Wars toy. And today we're going to unbox a 6-inch Black Series. This is Mace Windu. So let's go cut this guy loose. Alright everyone, here we are with Mace Windu from the Black Series line. And we're going to unbox this figure today, but let's quickly spin the packaging around and take a look at it. So he is number 82 in the Black Series line. And then, of course, on the back here, you have the character description, and I'll go ahead and read that for you guys. Mace Windu, a grim Jedi Master with an amethyst-bladed lightsaber. Mace Windu was the champion of the Jedi Order. With little tolerance for the failings of the Senate, arguments of the politicians, or the opinions of rebellious Jedi. Alright, and then here you have a description of Mace Windu and his no-nonsense attitude. And of course, he's famous in the movies for being one of the Jedi in the prequels to have the purple lightsaber. And he is obviously a fan favorite, a popular character, and my little hook tab is coming off there. But if you're a fan of this character, one of the shows I can recommend if you want to see him in a really cool couple action sequences is the micro series of the Clone Wars, the animated one that looks hand-drawn from the earlier 2000s, but they did a couple sequences with him in very cool, very powerful Jedi. But go ahead and get his purple lightsaber out of here and go ahead and pop him out of here as well. So the first thing I'm noticing, obviously, is the cloth robe. Very cool. And obviously it's probably going to come off, no problemo. But let's take a look at him with it on first. It's pretty well sewn. You can see they put the sleeves a little bit long. And, of course, you can put the hood up. So, very cool. And so, one of the ways I find best to get these robes off and on of these characters is you just kind of point the arms straight back and down like that, and you just kind of pull them off. And that's really one of the best ways to get them off and on the characters with the least amount of stress. But very nice face sculpt. They're getting much better at this. Hasbro is, so very well done. And so let's see here. So the rest of his outfit is all plastic, even though he's still got some robing material on. And real quick here, what I like to look at also is the hand sculpts, and his sculpts are a little bit different. This to me looks like the hand you want to put the lightsaber in. He's kind of got more of just an open fist, and here he's kind of got two fingers out as if he's maybe using a force ability with his hand or something like that. So there are slight differences to his hand sculpts. But real quick here, let's run through his movements, and they might be a little bit different because they have like a loose part of his robe. You can see it's glued down to the character on his waist, but you can see there's a little bit of movement on the robing that goes over his shoulders. And so I'm wondering how they're going to interact with his arms here. So just looking at his head articulation here, so you have what feels like it's on a ball joint. You have up and down, full rotation. So very cool. And then on his shoulders here, you got up, and the robe doesn't really appear to be interfering. It's your full range of your up. And then of course you're going to have the rotation. You can see his arm is hitting, but it doesn't really restrict it.
And then going down to his elbow here, you have a full rotation and an up and down. And you can see they put these big sleeves on him. I think that looks kind of cool. But I'm wondering, yeah, it's kind of... So in his wrist here, you have a rotation. And then up and down. And his up and down movement's a little bit restricted. It's partly because of the big sleeves, but I don't really think it's that big a deal. And then going down here to his waist, and wow, that actually feels really good on his waist articulation. So they actually put it at his waist here, and you can see they kind of hid the articulation point around the belt of his robe. And he's got forward and backward, and it feels really smooth. Sometimes these figures, the torso articulation feels a little choppy. But and then you have full rotation, so you can pose him. It just feels well built, well put together. And then going down to his legs here, you may have a little bit of restricted movement because he has this lower part of his robes, but they're flexible plastic, but they're not removable. It does not look like you can take them off. They're not molded to him. It feels like they're glued to him. But if you look, you can see you have, full leg articulation here. And he's got white pants, brown boots. But yeah, you got forward movement, and his backwards movement, not so much. And that's not because of the robes. It's just the way they have his lower body sculpted. So not so much back movement, but you got forward movement. Then you should have full leg rotation right here on the upper part of the leg. Then knee articulation. Okay, so you can get a good side swing. Very cool. Knee articulation, and then of course the ankle movement forward and backward, and full rotation. So, okay, so you can kind of like swing his leg out to the side. So that's pretty cool. All right. And just, in my personal opinion, if anyone from Hasbro or Disney is listening or watching, more prequel Jedis, please. More prequel Jedis in the Black Series. We want more Jedis. I'd love to see a Kit Fisto Black Series. Anyway, just my personal opinion. And so then, real quick here, let's take a look at Mace Windu's lightsaber. And there you can see a little gold highlight in the center, black and silver, the rest of it. And with all these Black Series, you should have a removable blade. And his is being a little bit stiff on me, but yeah, you can remove it. And of course you have the purple blade. And one of the things I want to check here is see if sometimes on the Jedi they will put something on the belt so you can attach the lightsaber to the belt, and I do not see that with him. But you also are going to want to have like a little piece or point of attachment on the lightsaber handle, and I don't see that either. So unfortunately you're not gonna attach his lightsaber to his belt. So that kind of, I always liked that feature myself, so I'm a little disappointed they didn't put that in there. You want to be really careful when you're pulling his lightsaber out. And again, this may be just how my particular one is molded, but it's a little bit difficult and a little bit stiff getting the blade in and out, and the little tab for putting it into the handle is very small, so you just want to be real careful. It looked like it may be a little bit easy to break. And so really at this point, the only thing we want to check is how he interacts with his lightsaber. And let's see here. So he's got a good grip on it, nice and tight. It's not coming out of his hand. And I'm putting it in his right hand because it just looks to me that's the way they have designed it to be. And you can see he's kind of holding it out at an angle coming out. It's not just straight up and down, but I guess if you move his arm a little bit, but the wrist articulation doesn't really go up and down, thumb to pinky. It goes top of his hand to his palm. So, but then you also have the rotation. So, and then just to be thorough, let's see, does it fit in his left hand? And yeah, he holds it, and you can see because of the two fingers that are out, the grip's not quite as good, but it's still in there. It's in there pretty good. And see, you can see my blade is a little bit bent. So, but it looks good in either hand. I'm not complaining about the way it looks in either hand, so it looks good. And then one final test I would like to give him is, what's important, does Mace Windu stand on his own? And yes, he does. All these Black Series do. There you go. Very cool. And then, of course, don't forget, we have the robe. Let's go ahead and put that back on him here just to see how that looks. Well, I believe most of the time in the movies he was without his outer robe. It fits him good. It looks good on him. I like it. So, and we're going to go hood down, lightsaber in hand. All right. All right, everyone, there he is from the 6-inch Black Series line. This is Jedi Master Mace Windu. And thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the videos. And if you are, please subscribe to the channel. We would love to have your support here. And thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.